New wave music and the movement it inspired mean different things to different people. It is a genre and cultural phenomenon that evolved across regions and eras, shaped by diverse influences and interpreted uniquely by listeners and artists alike. What one person considers quintessential new wave, another might view as post-punk, synth-pop, or simply pop music with a twist. The boundaries of new wave are fluid, and its impact spans multiple artistic disciplines, making it a topic of passionate debate. This video is my interpretation of what new wave was and the legacy it left behind. It reflects the way I understand its music, cultural significance, and influence on lifestyle, fashion, and trends. While opinions will inevitably vary, the intent here is to celebrate a movement that has captivated and inspired countless people worldwide, even as they define it in their own way. There are many other bands and artists who were just as influential as those mentioned here, and who deserve recognition for their contributions to the genre. However, to keep this video focused and concise, not all can be included. I welcome debate and would love to hear what new wave means to you. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. New wave music emerged in the late 1970s and became a defining cultural force throughout the 1980s. It was more than a genre, it was a movement that shaped music, fashion, and lifestyle. Born from the raw energy of punk rock, new wave took a more polished and experimental approach, incorporating synthesizers, electronic rhythms, and theatrical flair. This evolution created a distinct sound that was both innovative and accessible, pushing boundaries while embracing a broader audience. UK artists and bands such as David Bowie and Roxy Music, not to mention the groundbreaking German band Kraftwerk, laid the groundwork for the genre, blending elements of glam rock, electronic music, and avant-garde art into their work. These influences inspired a new generation of musicians to develop a style that was forward-looking and rooted in creative freedom. The pioneers of new wave were artists who dared to reimagine music through the lens of technology and modernity. Ultravox, initially fronted by John Foxx and later by Midge Ure, became one of the genre's leading lights. Their 1980 album Vienna was a landmark release, characterized by its rich synthesizer textures and dramatic vocals. Visage, formed by Midge Ure, Rusty Egan, and Steve Strange, captured the spirit of the era with their hit Fade to Grey, a song that epitomized the fusion of icy electronic soundscapes and moody introspective lyrics. Japan, led by David Sylvian, transitioned from glam rock origins to create deeply innovative new wave music. Their 1981 album, Tin Drum, stood out for its minimalist arrangements and incorporation of Eastern musical influences. Gary Newman, both as a solo artist and with Tubeway Army, became synonymous with the robotic aesthetic and cold, futuristic sound of the genre, producing classics such as Our Friends Electric and Cars. His stage persona and groundbreaking use of synthesizers made him a defining figure of new wave. The movement also saw the rise of Soft Cell, a duo known for their dark, theatrical storytelling and hits like Tainted Love, which blended electronic music with provocative themes. The Human League emerged from the Sheffield electronic scene and became an iconic act with their album Dare, and tracks such as Don't You Want Me, which combined emotional lyrics with cutting-edge production. Orchestral maneuvers in the dark brought a melancholic, melodic approach to the genre with songs like Enola Gay and Souvenir, bridging experimentalism with pop sensibilities. Devo, an American band with a highly conceptual style, contributed a quirky, satirical edge to new wave with songs such as Whip It, blending dystopian themes with playful rhythms. Heaven 17, formed by former members of the Human League, including Martin Ware and Ian Craig Marsh, added a political dimension to the genre with their album Penthouse and Pavement, which married social commentary to danceable electronic beats. New wave's sound was defined by its reliance on synthesizers, polished production, and an overall sense of futurism. Theatrical vocals, often conveying themes of alienation and detachment, were a hallmark of the genre. It also emphasized danceable rhythms, making it a staple in clubs. Artists were not only creating music but crafting identities through their visual style. The fashion of new wave was bold, eclectic, and often androgynous, challenging traditional norms and embracing individuality. Figures like Steve Strange of Visage embodied this ethos, merging music with the flamboyant aesthetics of the new romantic movement. His role as the host of London's Blitz Club solidified his position as a cultural icon. Similarly, artists like David Sylvian and Annie Lennox from Eurythmics used their appearances to question gender roles and redefine artistic expression. The advent of MTV in 1981 provided a powerful platform for new wave artists, enabling them to pair their music with striking visuals. Music videos became an integral part of the genre, showcasing the innovative fashion and art direction that defined its aesthetic. The Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star was the first video aired on MTV, symbolizing the growing importance of visual media in music. The genre's versatility allowed it to evolve into various subgenres, including synth-pop, power pop, and the ska revival, each contributing to its enduring legacy. Synth-pop became one of the most defining subgenres, characterized by the use of synthesizers, electronic beats, and catchy melodies. Bands like Depeche Mode and Yazoo were central to the development of synth-pop, blending dark, atmospheric tones with infectious pop hooks. Depeche Mode, in particular, evolved from their early synth-driven tracks like Just Can't Get Enough to more complex, brooding sounds on albums such as Violator, which merged electronic music with themes of angst and longing. Power pop also emerged as a subgenre within the new wave movement, drawing on the melodic sensibilities of 1960s pop rock, but with a more polished, contemporary twist. Bands like Squeeze, Cheap Trick, and The Romantics embraced catchy, guitar-driven melodies and upbeat rhythms while incorporating new wave's experimental edge. Meanwhile, the ska revival, which had its roots in Jamaica in the 1960s, saw a resurgence in the late 70s and early 80s, with new wave bands incorporating ska's upbeat rhythms and brass sections. Acts like The Specials, Madness, and The Selector helped bring ska back to the mainstream, adding their own unique spin by blending it with punk and new wave influences. This cross-pollination of genres helped solidify new wave's place as a genre that pushed musical boundaries and embraced a broad range of sounds, from the electronic-driven synth-pop to the lively and rhythmic tones of ska. New wave's impact extended far beyond its musical innovations. It redefined fashion, popularized the use of music videos as an art form, and influenced discussions about identity and individual expression. The genre's emphasis on creativity and breaking conventions continues to inspire musicians and artists to this day. For many, new wave was not just a style of music, but a way of life that celebrated the intersection of technology, art, and human emotion in a rapidly changing world.